We can repeat.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki Shrunatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayanta Sthoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhitsutam. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, verse number 42. This is the last verse of the chapter. I think over internet, repeating after is little challenging, I'm finding. So what we'll do is I'll say once or 3 times, and then if other devotees want to chant, we'll chant that. Or let's try one pada at a time and see if that works out. Athva bahut naitena Athva bahu naitena kim gyaten tavarjuna Vishtabhyaham idam kritsnam ekanshen sthito jagat athva bahu naitena kim gyaten tavarjuna Vishtabhyaham idam kritsna ekanshen sthito jagat athva bahu naitena kim gyaten tavarjuna Vishtabhyaham idam kritsnam ekanshen sthito jagat. Anyone else wants to chant this verse?
Athava bhunaitena kim nyatena tvarjuna Vishtabhyaham ida kritsnam ekanshena sthito jagat.
Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Prabhuji, I can try. Haribol.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Please try.
Athava bahunetena kim gyanetena tav arjuna vishtabhya bhayam idam krishnam ekam shenastito jagat.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Anyone else? We'll read synonyms, translation, and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Athva or bahuna many, etena by this kind, kim what, gyatena by knowing, tava your, arjuna o Arjun, Vishtabhya pervading, aham I, idam this, kritsnam entire, eka by one, amshena part, sthita am situated, jagata universe. By what need is there? But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Purport. The Supreme Lord is represented throughout the entire material universe by his entering into all things as Super Soul. The Lord here tells Arjuna that there is no point in understanding how things exist in their separate opulence and grandeur. He should know that all things are existing due to Krishna's entering them as Super Soul. From Brahma, the most gigantic entity, on down to the smallest ant, all are existing because the Lord has entered each and all and is sustaining them. There is a mission that regularly propounds that worship of any demigod will lead one to the Supreme Personality of God or the Supreme Good. But worship of demigods is thoroughly discouraged herein because even the greatest demigods like Brahma and Shiva represent only part of the opulence of Supreme Lord. He is the origin of everyone born, or no one, and no one is greater than him. He is asamordhva, which means that no one is superior to him and that no one is equal to him. In the Padma Purana, it is said that one who considers Supreme Lord Krishna in the same category with demigods, be they even Brahma or Shiva, becomes at once an atheist. If, however, one thoroughly studies the different descriptions of the opulence of expansions of Krishna's energy, then one can understand without any doubt the position of Lord Sri Krishna and can fix his mind in the worship of Krishna without deviation. The Lord is all pervading by the expansion of his partial representation, the Super Soul, who enters into everything that is pure. That is, pure devotees therefore concentrate their minds in Krishna consciousness in full devotional service. Therefore, they are always situated in the transcendental position. Devotional service and worship of Krishna are very clearly indicated in this chapter in verses 8 through 11. That is the way of pure devotional service. How one can attain the highest devotional perfection of association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been thoroughly explained in this chapter. Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan, a great acharya in disciplic succession from Krishna, concludes his commentary on this chapter by saying, Yat Chakti Lesat Suryadya Bhavantya Atya Ugra Tejasa Yad Amshena Dhritam Vishwam Sa Krishno Dashame Archate. From Lord Krishna, potent energy, even the powerful sun gets its power. From Lord Krishna's potent energy, even the powerful sun gets its power. And by Krishna's partial expansion, the whole world is maintained. Therefore, Lord Sri Krishna is worshipable. Okay? Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to the 10th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of the opulence of the Absolute. Okay? We'll do some Mangalacharan to give strength and purify the voice in the mind so that I can say something. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitnamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Dutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataruvescha Vipa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nityananda Avadhutendu Vasudha Prana Vallabh Jana Vijivipati Krishna Prema Prabhu Padmavati Shuta Shriman Sachinandana Purvaja Bhavan Mukta Jagatrata Rakta Gaur Kalevaraha. Namo Namo Aniruddhaya Rishikesh Indriyatmane Namo Paramhansaya Purnaya Nivritatmane Swarga Purga Dwaraya Nityam Suchi Sade Nama Nama Hiranya Viryaya Chaturhotraya Tantave. Hare Krishna. First of all, my humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. I seek their blessing, seek your blessing so that I can say something. I also pay my humble obeisances to His Grace Simeshwar Prabhu for engaging me in this seva, so that I can purify myself, engage in some shastra reading, do some meditation. I'm eternally indebted to him. Now, this particular chapter, the opulence of the Absolute, it's a very important chapter. It's concluding. As part of this chapter, Krishna is telling about himself. And then there are a few very important verses which are mentioned in this chapter. The whole Bhagavad Gita is very important. But sometimes we say, like the paribhashya or bhashya of a chapter or a book is the center point of it. So some of those verses can be considered in that category. But before we reach there, we start discussion on that. Let's meditate one more time on the meaning of this verse. Athva bahu nayatena. There are many, such things, Krishna is saying to Arjuna, that there are many such things. I have told you about this, but this is like, don't think of it as I'm telling that, okay, I am among Pandavas, I am Arjun, among Vrishnis, I am Vasudev, I am the moon, I am the sun, I am Omkar, all these things. But don't think for any, don't even for a moment think that this is the exhaustive list. No, this is just it's not even a summary. It's a slight glimpse. It's a trailer of a trailer that we can think of. And some highlights, which what do we call, when we have somebody is explaining something and then wants to attract, because you have to think that why Krishna is telling all this, because he loves us. We are his part and parcel, we are his children. So Krishna wants us to get back to him. Prabhupada gives example that uh, if a son is out there playing in the park, father is keeping an eye, and then once in a while father will go sit on the bench or try to talk to the son, say that please come back home. So that's the position which Krishna is in. So Krishna is actually Krishna wants us to come back to him, and that's why he's selectively saying things which we can understand or relate to. So that's why Krishna is actually talking about these things, that okay, if you see sun, if you see Omkar, if you hear about Omkar, if you see Purusharth in a person, all these things which we come across in our day-to-day life, that should remind you about me. Okay? And why it should be reminded? Again, Krishna will discuss about that in the chapters, in the verses 8 to 11. Those are important verses, so we'll do a discussion on that. But Krishna is telling about these things so that we get attracted. But at the same time, in this particular verse, he's saying that, okay, I've given you this list, but by no means that's a exhaustive list. That's just a glimpse of it. Okay. And he goes on and says that Kim Gyaten Tavarjuna. What is the need of learning about that? There is no need, in a way. If somebody who is telling or is in a higher position and is questioning about something, then that means that this thing is, oh, what is the need of doing this? Okay. So in a way, there is no need of doing this. Okay. So that's why Krishna is saying that, but what need is there for all this detailed knowledge? There is no need. Okay. And then he goes on and says that, Vishtabhyam aham idam kritsnam, with a single fragment, ekan sen sthito jagat. This entire universe, how much you'll know, knowing about this universe itself is such a big deal. And then this whole universe is sustained by just ekam sen, or just a part, a very small part of myself, with a single fragment of myself I pervade. Okay. Now, how do we understand that just by a single fragment of myself? What is? So we all know this, but Krishna says one of the 8 to 11 verses in that is Machchita Madhgad Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Charamanti. So devotees are actually discussing again and again about the Krishna Katha, same story, same pastimes again and again, and they relish it. Okay, that's the difference between absolute and material. And we all have heard this example that even if somebody loves gulab jamun, but you give him one, he'll be very thankful. If you give 2 gulab jamuns, it's my favorite, I'll be like, oh wow, wonderful, thank you so much. 3, I'll like, okay, wonderful. 4th, I'll say, I think probably I'll say that I think that's enough. 5th, 6th, 7th, no, probably I'll become inimical, I'll start fighting with that person. Why? Because this is material, so there is a limit to this dual nature, that same thing which gives me pleasure becomes the cause of pain as well. Okay, so similarly, same thing, same gulab jamun, a little bit will give me pleasure, but if I keep on having it, then I'll get sick. A person who keeps on feeding me, I'll probably get in fight with that person. But that's not the same with absolute. Okay? Same story we hear again and again, and then every time we'll hear with the same enjoyment. Okay? Look at the mantra, Maha Mantra we meditate on. The first thing we do is that we start our day by chanting. We wake up and then we pick up the beads, and then we start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We are going into different flows, sometimes different tunes, sometimes slowly, sometimes fast, and then we listen to the same Maha Mantra being sung by different devotees in different tunes. Okay? Then we sit in a kirtan, sankirtan with other friends, and then we are singing. Now, how many times can we hear, meditate on, and then sing a other song which is material? You cannot. 1, 2 times, third time, 10th time it will start giving us headache. But that's because it is material. But if it is related with Krishna, absolute, you see that we are chanting so many rounds on of that mantra, and then again we are if you play a wonderful tune, then we start dancing as well. Same thing, same mantra. So that is the difference between absolute and why I mentioned that is because I was gonna mention things which we already know. But it will elaborate, and I think we'll all take pleasure in that. This part that with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So this fragment, so we all know that Krishna, from Krishna comes, this Chaturvyuha Taras, and then from there, again, the second Chaturvyuha expansion. And from there comes Mahavishnu. And then when Mahavishnu is lying down in the causal ocean, and he, from his he's breathing out, so from each of his pores from his body, are coming the universes. Okay? And then he enters into each universe as Garbho Dakshai Vishnu and is sustaining. So the super soul for this material creation is Mahavishnu. And then he enters as a super soul for the one universe as Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. And then from Garbho Dakshai Vishnu, he expands into Shiro Dakshai Vishnu. Okay? And then Shiro Dakshai Vishnu is expanding himself as super soul and is residing in each and every Jivatma heart. And that's what is mentioned here, that starting from Lord Brahma to smallest ant, in everyone's heart is residing Shiro Dakshai Vishnu as super soul. So from here we can understand that how from a part, very tiny, he's actually how many expansions he's actually doing of himself. Okay, but the difference between difference between expansions which we have or in the material world which happens, and the expansions which Krishna has are very different. Okay? The the expansion is from Krishna, which happens is what is that verse I was trying to Purnamidam. Om Purnamidam Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnadamuchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. So from the complete, if we take out, that also is complete. Okay, and what remains is also complete. Okay. So that's the difference between a division of absolute and the division of material things. Okay. So Krishna is actually saying that what is the need of knowing all these details, because there is no end to it. The one meaning of it can be that there is no end to it, and the other meaning is that this is actually not needed, because what is the ultimate goal? Ultimate goal is that even without understanding Krishna, if you just surrender and you engage yourself in the devotional service, then the result is same. Okay? There is no need to understand Krishna. Okay? We all know that the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu winning over the Mayavadis in Varanasi, headed by Prakashanand Saraswati. There, when Prakashanand Saraswati saw, he thought that Mahaprabhu is a sentimental person, sentimental sannyasi, because he's dancing and singing, and a sannyasi should not be engaged in all these things. What should a sannyasi be doing? Sannyasi should engage in the study of the Shastra, trying to understand the Brahman, okay, and meditation. Okay. And then what did Mahaprabhu said? Mahaprabhu said that, well, my Guru Maharaj thought that I'm a murkha and cannot actually engage myself in study of the Shastra. So he gave me this simple Mahamantra, simple mantra, and said that you can just chant on, and then sing and chant, and then meditate on this one Mahamantra. By that, what Mahaprabhu is saying, that even he's not saying that, I mean, he's saying that he's a fool, but he's not. He was not a fool, because we all know that he defeated Keshava Kashmiri, who was one of the greatest scholars of his time. Okay, so what he's saying is that even a fool can be or can achieve Supreme Personality of Godhead without needing for understand, because understanding comes, and then with that we can actually go to one of those verses, that what is Krishna saying in the 10th verse? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Tesham satata yuktanam, those who are engaged in continuously engaged, and then bhajatam priti purvakam, and are engaged in my devotional service, with love. Bhajatam priti purvakam. Okay. What happens to them? Dadami buddhi yogam. I will give them knowledge. There is no need of understanding. Okay. I will give them knowledge. Okay, and we see there are so many um, examples in our shastra that just by uh, engaging in devotional service, people have achieved Krishna. Okay, one very good example is from today morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Simeshwar Prabhu mentioned there. He narrated the story of Dhruva Maharaj. He was just 5 years old. What kind of knowledge and understanding a 5-year-old can have? Okay? And he, by engaging in the devotional service, he achieved Krishna in matter of 6 months. So must be 5.5-year-old when he saw Krishna. And when he saw Krishna, he developed this desire to glorify, Krishna. And now, what kind of glorification a 5.5-year-old can come up with? But seeing the desire, Krishna touched him with his conch on his head, and then all the knowledge came, and then he started speaking verse after verse in the glorification of Krishna. This Sunday we are celebrating Sri Ram Navami. So it's very pertinent to mention the story of Mother Shabari. That she was of a, she was a woman and of a lower birth, but just by her devotional service, where there's this popular pastime where it is mentioned that she was picking up these berries to offer to Krishna and to offer to Lord Ramchandra ji in the ashram of Matanga Rishi, and then just to be sure that they are sweet enough, she will take a bite from that to ensure that it is sweet enough. Okay. And then offered it, and then if she'll find it sweet enough, then she'll give it to Krishna. This pastime is nicely mentioned in Sri Ramcharitmanas. And just by that, she was just with that devotional service, she was able to achieve Krishna, achieve the dham of Lord Ramchandra ji. So from these examples, we can see that there is no need for spending effort and time into trying to understand Krishna. That's what Krishna is saying here. That what is the need of all these detailed knowledge? Kim Gyatin Tavarjun. Let's read those 4 verses which are very nicely mentioned. You bring that up. It starts by Krishna actually telling that who is he. So the first one is Aham sarvasya prabhao mattah sarvam pravartate iti matta bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. He's saying, I am the source of everything. First we have to understand this. Okay. Even Srimad Bhagavatam also says, Eta chansa kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Okay. We also, there are so many verses. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vikra Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So we have to understand this part. It starts by this understanding. Okay, that Krishna is the source of everything. He is saying, Aham Sarvasya Prabhav. I am the origin of everything. Mattah sarvam pravartate. And everything is coming from. Okay. And then who thinks like this? Buddha, those who are intelligent. Okay? And then once you have this understanding, what do? Machita madgat prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantasya mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So by putting their heart and mind and soul in me, and they are what they are doing, kathayantasya mam nityam. They are engaged in my uh, discussion. And with that, tushyanti cha namanti cha, getting satisfied and getting happy, ramanti, blissful. And then, and those who are, so first is that understanding, then what you do, and then when that happens, what do you get? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam enamam upayanti te. I will give them the buddhi yoga. I'll give them the understanding by which they can come to me. This intelligence is being given just by that. It's not that, okay, tesham satat, Bhagavad Gita patanti, tesham satat bhagavatam patanti. No. Just by bhajatam means constantly engaged in the service. Okay? Priti Bhagavatam. Okay, and then tesham evanukampatham aham ajnanajam tamah. And those who are uh, engaged in such activities, aham ajnanajam tamah. I will take care of the ajnana jam. That tamah, that darkness which is sprouted is coming because of the ajnana. You're saying nashyamyat bhavastho. By being situated in there, nashyamyat. I'm actually taking care of. I'm removing that. By being situated in their heart. Jnana deepin bhasvata. So these are the 4 verses, wonderful verses we should memorize. It goes on, Arjuna is saying after that, he's acknowledging this one, that you are the Param Brahma, Param Dhama. And then he's saying that I am your devotee, I'm your friend, and just by that, people shouldn't, doubt that, because it is being said by Asita Devala Vyas, Devarshi Narad. All these, great personalities are also saying the same thing. Okay, so you shouldn't just think that it is me who is saying. Okay? So this is wonderful, 10th chapter. So with that, I would like to take a pause here and see if there are, any corrections, comments, realizations devotees want to share in a few minutes. Are there any points someone wants to bring up, share, any corrections? Looks like not. So over to you, Simeshwar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
We do pranam all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much. Such a wonderful and profound class. This is very, this is what is we want to hear at the glories of the Supreme, so that we can more realize and connect to the Supreme. So this is our wonderful opportunity. It says that one who hears the topic of the Supreme 3 times a day, and that's what is exactly even Narada Dev suggested to even Pro Maharaj. He should engage and hear 3 times a day. That's why, our tradition also, we chant the Gayatri 3 times a day, remember the Lord 3 times a day. It's called Trisandhya. So these times, if anybody engages in the loving devotional service, hearing, chanting, or remembering, they will definitely attain the Supreme. That's the determination, that realization, understanding, and being with Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So thank you so much, dear devotees, and please open up some realizations, comments, or questions. It's very wonderful. And this is the opportunity, is the Lord's mercy that we have, that to being with the Supreme Lord, even Supreme Lord is absolute, just by taking His name, that we are being with Him. So remembering Him, chanting and hearing, everything, association. This is the real way that we all purify our karma or reactions or sinful reactions and all so many ways. Yeah, please go ahead if anybody would like to add or any questions. Nobody has anything to add? Any realizations? Or in this, we are concluded today the 10th chapter. So you all can actually also put some, and what you understood, what you get out of this 10th chapter. Really come to that, this is confidential knowledge, or this is most confidential knowledge. This way, we are actually more making it more concrete in our consciousness, that who is Krishna, how we see Krishna. Please go ahead. Anybody has anything to add?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
All Guru Prabhupada. Yeah, very nice class with Dr. Krishna Prabhu, mentioning the devotional service. Even like this, the crux in remembering Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 25th chapter, Mother Devuti asking, like after all this, how to become conditioned to liberation. And Lord Kapila says only the way the devotional service. So seeing that just the devotional service, the other thing like will be provided or will be disclosed slowly. So Akhilesh Prabhu mentioning that clearly, like Krishna said that the buddhi dadati buddhi yoganta. The rest of I will take care. Just you engage in the devotional service. The other thing I will supply. So that the promise to Krishna. Even I remember Prabhupada mentioned that the devotional service for all, even educated, uneducated, they just go into the temple, then sweep the temple. That the equivalent devotional service like others are preaching. So this is for all, other can participate based on their circumstances. So I'm recalling that, and the devotional service again and again, like this is only the way to become conditioned towards go to the liberation.
Wonderful point, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Simeshwar Prabhuji, is it okay if we recite few verses from Ramcharitmanas, especially, the one where Lord Ram is appearing? We have done that, sing that part in our temple a few years back. Bhai Prakat Kripala Deen Dayala. That's the part. Is it okay?
Yes, Guruji, if nobody else has anything to add, I think Janaki Mataji is raised the hand. Thumbs up.
Oh, Prabhuji, I just wanted to say yes, we want to hear Ram Katha.
Oh, yeah, please.
Okay. So I'm not very good singer, but this is very melodious. So we'll actually, the melody is in the poetry itself. So please forgive me for truties in my voice. I'll sing this one. This is the time when Lord Rama has appeared in front of Mother Kaushalya, and she's praying that just like in Krishna avatar, Krishna comes in the in his form, Chaturbhuj form. Similarly, here also he appears in front of Mother Kaushalya in his Chaturbhuj form, and then she's saying that we'll discuss that once she comes. What is her prayer? So it starts with Bhai Prakat Kripala Deen Dayala Kausalya Hitkari Harshit Mahatari Muni Manhari Adbhut Roop Vichari लोचन अभिरामा तन घन श्यामा निज आयुध भुजचारी भूषण बनमाला नयन विशाला शोभा सिंधु खरारी. So Tulsidas is writing that he is appearing in his bhujachari, tan ghan shyama, and he's he's wearing the garland bhushan banmala nayana vishala shobha sindhu kharari. Okay, shobha sindhu means he is the ocean of the beauty, shobha sindhu, and kharari means the khar and dushan were the rakshasas he killed, so that's what is being mentioned here. कह दुई कर जोरी अस्तुति तोरी केहि विधि करौ अनंता माया गुण ज्ञाना तीत अमाना वेद पुराण भनंता करुणा सुख सागर सब गुण आगर जेहि गावहि श्रुति संता सो मम हित लागी जन अनुरागी भयौ प्रकट श्रीकंता. So she is actually praying, Kah dui kar jori astuti tori. She is saying that, oh my Lord, how do I pray to you? What do I sing to you? You are Karuna Sagar. And she continues, Brahmand Nikaya Nirmit Maya Rom Rom Pratived Kahe Mam Urso Basi Yah Upahasi सुनत धीर मति थी न रहे उपजा जब ज्ञाना प्रभु मुस्काना चरित बहुत विधि किन्न कहे कही कथा सुहाई मातु बुझाई जहि प्रकार सुत प्रेम लहे. जब माता को ज्ञान उत्पन्न हुआ तब प्रभु मुस्कुराए. Then she's like, she just keeps on praying, and then this is the line which I was mentioning about earlier. माता पुनि बोली सोमति डोली तजहु तात यह रूपा. Please give up this form. She's saying that, please give up this form, this Chaturbhuj form. की जय शिशुलीला अति प्रिय शीला यह सुख परम अनुपा. Please become like a boy, a small boy, की जय शिशुलीला, अति प्रिय शीला. सुनि बचन सुजाना रोदन ठाना होई बालक सुरभूपा. Just by hearing this, he became a small boy and he started crying. यह चरित जे गावहि हरिपद पावहि तेन परहि भवकूपा. Then this is Shrutifal being given, that those who sing this pastime, they will haripad pavahi, they will achieve the lotus feet of Supreme Personality, and tena parahi bhavakupa, and they will not fall into this material world. विप्रधेनु सुर संतहित लीन मनुज अवतार निज इच्छा निर्मित तन Maya Guna Gopal. So Vipradhenu Sur and Sant, for the protection of the Brahmanas, cows, and then Devatas and the saintly people. See how nicely wonderful this is, the thing that all these Shastras are actually together on the same point. Even we sing daily that go brahmana hitaya cha, and then even paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam, and then same thing is being mentioned here, vipradhenu surasantahita, for the benefit of, for the protecting of brahmanas, cows, demigods and devotees, essentially people. So, yeah, wonderful. This is wonderful chaupais, dohas. So, Sri Ramchandra ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That's what I wanted to actually sing. I thank you so much, Sachi Mataji, for encouraging. She said that we should sing something from Ramcharitmanas.
Yeah, wonderful. So nice. This is this is only the fortunate, those who are fortunate can hear, read, realize, understand. It's not possible for anybody else. This is a wonderful, wonderful realization who are writing this, reading this, enjoying this, reading that Doha. It's a deep ocean of transcendental knowledge, not that just some Doha, some words or some lines.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept humble obeisance to our Prabhupada. On Sunday, I was talking with Madhupati Prabhu. We have Ram Navami coming up in a few days. So I was mentioning him several years ago, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. Internet was new. We didn't have Zoom call and all that. And we had a internet radio station called Gauravani. And it started on Ram Navami, if I'm not mistaken. And just read from the Ramayana book that is by Prabhupada's disciple, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami. And in the evenings, we used to do that around 8 o'clock. So when I was talking with Madhupati Prabhu, he said, yeah, we should start it again. So from this Saturday, it'll be on Saturdays. On Saturday in the morning, timing has to be scheduled. It'll either be on the morning Japathon Zoom channel, or Madhupati Prabhu said he may try and get some other Zoom conference to do that. The idea is only going to be reading, so you could do, whatever the work is there. Devotees usually on weekends would have to do housework, grocery, this, that, and all that. So it's going to be reading the Ramayana. Something very interesting. That radio channel, since it was on the internet, there was a Mataji from Albania or Bosnia, somewhere there, who would connect every day. And most of the time, she would be the only listener on the radio thing, internet radio. But here we have this Sangha, so whoever's interested, I think by Friday we should get the details out on the ICNJ Japa group. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, it's very wonderful, Prabhuji. If I can give my 2 cents, I think we should engage in this seva. Some younger kids, especially this being weekend. Those who are interested can participate in reading and listening that way.
It's a very good idea. If they have that book, so you read from the book a couple of pages. Back then, I used to read for about 45 minutes to an hour. So the children can also recite and read these books. They should have it, and then the timetable. So suppose we say Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, then the regularity of running it at 9 o'clock. So yeah, definitely kids should, or anyone else also who's interested to read it. And then of course, if somebody has a question or a comment, it could be put on the Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya group for further discussion. But the idea was to keep it short and simple hearing, and then the interaction can happen offline.
Very nice idea, Prabhuji, and wonderful initiative. Thank you so much.
Thank Madhupati Prabhu. Thank you, everybody. I hope to see you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all praise to Srila Prabhupada. Just one quick thing, is it possible for you guys to add me also to that Japathon group? I'm not on that group right now.
I think Simeshwar Prabhu should be able to add you.
Oh, Mataji will add you.
Yeah.
You can.
It's, so that it's actually currently it is full, but I think that when we send the invitation like through the link, I'll send it to you, Mataji. See that you can join through the link. It's already 256. I think that's the capacity, but we'll send you the link and
Okay, Prabhuji.
hopefully you can join. Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Amrutananda Prabhu. It is a nice program. Saturday morning and Ramayana is reading Ramayana. It's very powerful. Very nice. Wow. So nice. Okay. So anything
Prabhuji,
else?
yes, Prabhuji, maybe we could do a little sweep on the Japathon group. Whoever has probably moved out, maybe from New Jersey, we can try to accommodate Mataji's request and see if we can replace who has moved out from New Jersey from the group. Maybe that's okay.
Yeah, that's a little tough because of who knows and many numbers, not have much names. Some are there, I think that some, left to India and something like that. Yes. You will
So
see.
make another group, no? ICNJ Japathon 2. People can join that group, and whatever comes on Japathon, just forward it. And admin can just forward it to Japathon 2.
Yeah.
So that way it can keep daisy chain.
Yeah, I think we do have, yes, you're right. I mean, we do have two other group, one another group, which is called Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Another group is there also, Prabhuji. Yeah, we'll see that, we can create another Jabathon. Yeah, that's way. And I think that if we, through the invitation, through the link, I think devotees still can join. Yeah, we'll try that. And if not, then we'll start another one, Mataji. That's a good idea.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you all. Thank you.
wonderful. Nice. Okay. Nothing else? Okay. Okay, so if there is nothing else, then let's conclude. We also have our book distribution meeting today. We would request devotees please stay and help in Srila Prabhupada's mission, distributing books and Sankirtan. And yeah, with that note, will conclude today's session. Vanchakalpadarupasya kripasidhacha Adidanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Vaishnavanda ki jai.
Jai,
Gara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila
Jai,
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai,
Gaudiya Vaishnavanda ki
Jai.
Gaurav Premanande Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody. Hari Bol.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Akhilesh Krishna Prabhu. So let's also start our Sankirtan meeting. Okay, so Puneet Prabhu, let's begin.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thanks for joining the weekly Bhakti Vriksha call. The book distribution call. And yeah, Prabhuji, we would like to get started with the agenda. So first and foremost, we want to talk about the inventory. Secondly, is the upcoming book distribution. Thirdly, we want to touch upon the feedback. They've been devotees making calls to see how they are doing. And lastly, any open questions on the floor people have. With Ramnami coming, we can possibly also plan a Nagar Sankirtan if possible. So these are the agenda items for today. And of course.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu.
So we have completed the inventory, Prabhuji. It's in the share drive.
Okay.
And I think we have also completed the pricing on those. For the most part, it looks good. I would request you and Amritanand Prabhu to check, if they feel anything from pricing standpoint. I think prices are what we know for the books we have already put there. Some of the books which I think there was a question raised in the group on the Sri Prabhupada Leela Amrita, right? So that's pointed out that's $75. So
Yeah, that is $75. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's taken care of. We haven't heard back from the devotee how many or when they wanted, but we're following up to just see how that works. And the other thing is on the calling. We shared the list with devotees. We shared the list with Taruni Mataji, and as well as Prabhuji, Amritanand Prabhu also. So just to get any feedback, any response, that's next on the agenda. And yeah, so any other questions, concerns anybody has? And then the book distribution we have this Saturday at Patel's. That's what the location is. For now we have decided on Patel's, but we'll see if at all anything needs to be changed. But for now, it's on Patel's in North Pranchal.
Okay. Yeah, I think probably also, I think last week we were planning to Jersey City. Let's see that, those devotees over there, they're available. They can do that on Jersey City also at the same time when we do it here. And also we can plan on the Edison side, the book distribution. At least a couple of devotees can focus on Edison side. Few devotees can be on Jersey City, and few devotees can be over here on Patel. So this way, so we can in various places.
That's a very good point. I was just wondering about the inventory is available at Jersey City for the devotees there, or they want the books.
Yeah, I mean, Radha Premaprada Madaji lives there in Jersey City. Few devotees lives there in Jersey City, and they do have. I mean, we can check. They usually come on Saturday morning at our temple for some service. So if they want, they can also collect the books, right?
Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah. So this way we can spread it out. Okay, and that is on this Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So then we also needs to plan on Ramnavami. There will be a lot of people. We are expecting almost 500 people, cooking for 500, and probably it's a good opportunity for us to distribute books for the new people and other people.
Mm-hmm.
Especially we don't have any specific Ramayana. We used to have, but we don't have now. Yeah. So, but yeah, we can have a couple of stations for the books inside, maybe weather permits outside, things like that. So that way we can cover maximum people, those who are coming inside and outside.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I will take the number for the Mataji who's in Newark.
Yeah, Yada Prema Pradamadaji, I'll forward you.
Okay.
Prabhu, do we have floodlights? If the weather is good in the courtyard, we could put up book tables. But if the light is there,
light is there. Yeah, yeah, we can extend some light. Extend some bulbs from inside, and yeah, we can have some nice.
Depending on weather, we could put it out.
The weather should be fine. Let me check.